Jenna. 11, with Jenna. 11, with Jenna. 11, who you gonna call right now? 11, with Jenna. With Jenna. 11, with Jenna.
Right now.
11, with Jenna. With Jenna. It's 11, who you gonna call right now?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. 2022, 222s. Now that there's, let's see, 2, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. We're talking numbers, you know how I am. I don't even know who's here. Hold on a second. Let me get to my page. Let me see what's up. William D. Lindemann. Oh, Carla. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Today's show is going to be so awesome. Yay, yay, yay. Let me go public really quick. Hold the wire. Do. Yeah. Don't go anywhere. Share this show. This show is so worthy of being shared that I'm starting at the top of the hour to say, public, we are public. You can now share the show. And I am going to go just do a little bit of business right here. We learned yesterday how easy it is to share the show. So don't hesitate. I am almost ready to be right there with you. I'm here, but I am here and you are here and we are here. And hold on one second. Okay. Let's see. What's up? Hey, Michael. Cool. Last night, I loved last night. I loved last night. I loved yesterday. I loved the day before. I love this show. I'm so happy that you're here. Tonight, I might have another guest. Tomorrow morning, Michael Keel will be here. Tomorrow night, we're going back to Colorado with my friend Jim, who lives in Telluride. Yes, we are. And then Friday morning, we'll be in LA with Armando. Tomorrow morning, we'll be in Merced with Michael. Tomorrow night, Telluride with Jim. Friday morning, Armando. Friday night, Displaced and Share. Saturday morning, Jeff. Saturday night, one more Saturday night. I think Tatiana is going to be here. Sunday morning, Leanne Mackey is going to be sitting in her bathroom, showing us bathrooms around the world. I'm excited about that. And we'll probably talk nurse stuff, 'cause she's been a nurse for almost 40 years. Sunday night, Poetry Glam. Monday morning, Meandering and Movement. Monday night, might do a little meditation this week and then talk about the movies because it's Monday Night Movie Club. Tuesday morning, Patty's going to be here and she's going to make cake. Not balls, but cake. And then Tuesday night, we are having not really a contest, but just to see how it's, since Andy hasn't been here, Andy, hypnotherapist and acupuncturist to the stars, I came up with the idea, inspired by Suzanne, she asked me, since Andy's not here, why don't you be Andy tonight, like impersonate Andy? And I thought, next week, we'll all impersonate him. We'll take our own, like what we have gotten from Andy and maybe have a little party. Right now, though, I'm so excited. And it's happened on Wednesdays way back in, 2020. Wednesday nights even. One of my favorite people on the planet and one of her favorite people on the planet, which I've spent about 11 minutes with, and now I see why, are Patty Lohman, are going to be here right in like 9 seconds as soon as I take these out of my hands. These gobies? What? Ladies and gentlemen, share this show. And let's welcome Coquelicot, Gilland, and Amanda Coslor. Hey, John. Sounds perfect. Yay! The mistresses of Zoom. Hello, ladies. Hi there.
Hi.
Good morning. I know it's a lot of energy this morning. You can get it going. You got a way of generating it for sure.
Gotta get it there. Did I say it right? Coslor?
Yeah, Coslor. You got it. Thanks.
Coslor. How do you spell it?
Coslor.
Oh, Lor. Oh, thank you, John. You have a beautiful day too. So right now we are coast to coast. We got people. Actually, we're tri-coastal because Southwest Michigan is also on Lake Michigan, so it's a coast. So we have people in California, we have people in the Midwest, and we have people on the East Coast watching the show. And then what happens later, one of the people that is watching, William D. Lindemann, who's saying, hello, ladies, lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he magically picks up each show and places them in YouTube, and they are there forever. So this will be, I almost wore that blue today, Coquelicot, but I thought I would wear this for you instead.
Oh my goodness. I recognize that.
Dave Love is here. Dave Love's here. Everybody, Dave's here. So we're
Hey,
now.
Dave, how are you? I hope you're well. I remember Dave.
Dave's here. William's here. Patty, you haven't met, but Patty's she's a true 11-11er for sure. This is definitely a show worthy of being shared, and I'm going to do a little bit of sharing in a second, but I don't even know where to begin here, Coquelicot. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, Amanda and I will grab it.
Grab it.
Okay.
Do you want to start, love?
Hmm.
Well, I'm putting you on the spot.
Like,
I'm
where do I
seriously
begin?
asking you that.
Yeah, no, you go, Coquelicot. And then,
All right.
Can I say one thing really quickly?
yeah.
I've known Coquelicot, we've known each other for well over 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Cordelia is here. Cordelia DeVere is here. I know you know Cordelia, Coquelicot. So England is calling right now. You two really look alike.
Yeah.
This is not the first time that we've had this.
I mean, when you first came on this morning, I went, because you were on before Coquelicot, I went, oh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Okay,
And-
I'm getting this. I'll find the photo of Coquelicot and I from my 30th birthday, and I'll send it to you, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But hi, Cordelia. Oh, I'm so happy she's here. This is so great. Okay, I'll be quiet. Go on.
So that exchange between Amanda and I is kind of representative of the pleasure and ease that we have with each other. And we've known each other probably in the 30-year mark at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I met you slightly. Yeah, it's got to be at least 30 years now.
We were talking.
at least.
We think we know some of the same people too. Like I think
Yeah.
we started to.
Right, because both of you share music scene kind of stuff.
Yeah, there could be a lot of overlaps and Bay Area overlaps. And
Mhm.
I met you, Coquelicot, when you were in Berkeley. So that was definitely 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's more than 30.
More. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are both long-term loves and chosen family, both of you. So it's kind of interesting to get us all together in one place. And during that time that Amanda and I have known each other, in funny ways, our lives have really been very paralleled. So I have lots of heart sons and heart daughters, but not from my body this lifetime. But there's a way that Amanda and I have been at really important, like familial junctures for each other. And a lot of shared parallel life experience under the bridge. So I actually do really feel like she's a daughter from another mother
I,
in a sense. And we're
Mhm.
also colleagues. We have our separate experiences, but we've also done a lot of similar kinds of training and hold a lot of similar value. And I'm also very aware we both come from a deeply inclusive place. It's like her family knows me and I know her family, and we all kind of traveled together. And she helped me out when my mother was dying and was actually there when my mom took her last breath. So it's like we have that kind of deep weaving and a warrior spirit that steps into the edges of life. Amanda's, I'll let her speak for herself, but she's also a midwife and has been at a lot of transitional spaces and has a lot of strength and grit, which is really lovely because we meet each other there really well. All of this to say, we are co-teaching now. We've been talking about that for probably about 15 years. And now we're finally doing it. So it also looks like we're moving towards slowly building a container which might look a little bit like a school for a steady offering. Because I'm in the legacy part of my life. I just turned 65 last year, and it becomes a little bit important for me to get information out, as it is for Amanda, to people. So whatever my unique intersection of that information is can get captured and held somewhere and continue to be of service. So I don't know. I'm kind of not a person who talks about all the ways I've been trained. I'm more interested in presencing. But you know, I'm been doing whatever I've been doing for 40 plus years now. or
Thank you for
close to.
doing what you've been doing. And let me just do this real quick. Standing ovation.
So fun.
So I'd kind of like to, before we talk about what we have an offering for and what the larger picture for our offerings is, I'd love to have Amanda share.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both very deeply trained at this point, so we just want to work it and have fun together.
Yeah. It's really, it's fun to think back on when I met you, Coquelicot, and I was in my 20s, and I just bring this in because I think it's partly this like coming around to teach this class with you. I was in my 20s in Berkeley, feeling pretty lost, I think, and I got referred to Coquelicot really out of like kind of a desperate point in my life. I felt very depressed. And I remember meeting you and being like, oh my God, this is the first time I've ever been seen by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. Like I actually felt like alive for the first time. And I was about 20, maybe early 20s. And I remember just being like riding my bike home, like, I am so excited.
Wow.
From that point, I was like, this is what I want to learn. I want to learn this body-based navigational system where I really know what this organism is, what it's telling me, how to really respect it, how to love it. And I feel like meeting you, Coquelicot, set me on that path. I didn't even know it existed until I met you. And so from there, going in to these somatic modalities, first as a therapeutic way for myself, but then to actually go and study it. And then to take that into midwifery and hospice work, and then to circle back around to teaching with you is like, yeah, it makes sense. It just feels right. So that's where we are today. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
There's
I'm there with you.
there's a way that I feel like the time has just been really ripe for us to do this. We've been getting traction for about the last year and a half to start doing things on the scale that we're doing, and we expect them to get bigger. But
Let's talk about that scale. What's happening soon? You guys are creating, is it a workshop, would you say? A master class? A
Kind of
deep dive,
both.
as the
It's
kids
both.
say?
Well,
it's a both and.
yeah. Basically, God knows with COVID, we have been pushed into reevaluating boundaries from a number of levels, and we've had to become much more conscious about it. So last fall, we did an offering on the Big Five, which is a regulation model that we both know. And then we were thinking, like, what do we want to offer next? And the thing that seemed most alive and most germane to where we are right now is helping people start to really become awake around boundaries. And so we're doing this 10-month class. It's 2 hours once a month. That is the class itself. And then if people want to join in on a practicum, that's like 2 weeks later, most months, not all. We will deepen into the material from that first class. But boundaries, everything is about boundaries. Everything is about regulating contact. The Big Five is a boundary skill
Can
set.
you express the Big Five? Go into that a little bit.
That I think would take a bit too much time,
Okay.
but it's a way of listening to what's going on inside of you. And it's about slowing down so that you can, I'm learning so much from Amanda. There's just one of the reasons why I'm so loving teaching with her, because there's such a rich exchange of ideas and growing out, and a certain kind of humbling that comes when you really know a lot, but then you realize how much you don't know and how much there's yet to be discovered. But Amanda spends a lot of time talking about locating yourself. This is her language, like locating yourself in space, in relationship. And all of that requires boundaries. So for me, it's really about grabbing 10 facets of boundaries, which I'm talking about as learning lenses, so that people can start to look at things that they haven't looked at before and start questioning where they want to locate themselves in relationship to what they're noticing. So the
Okay.
class is not therapy. It's not deep process. It's noticing and inquiry through these different learning lenses that we've set up that can make huge changes in the way that you understand what's happening and why things are happening. Can I pass it over, the talking stick over to you, love?
Yeah. Yeah, so with the big five, we started that. I can say a little bit more to what that process is. It is a process of boundaries, it's a mindfulness practice. It's also a way to help you regulate yourself when you feel dysregulated. Um, it is pretty simple, so people can grab it, use it, start to like play with it quickly, rather than going into kind of more of the developmental material that we will go into with the boundaries class. And it's going to be the first Wednesday of every month, a 2-hour portion, where we will talk about the developmental ways boundaries form or not form, right? There's going to be reasons they don't form depending on your own upbringing, but we will go into the theories of that throughout the seasons, and the seasonal energies bring up different things for people. So that's why we're extending it through December. Then there will be the practicum, what Coquelicot said, 2 weeks, a Wednesday. So 2 weeks after the core class, where people can drop into that class and do more processing if they need that. So we're going to offer that as well. And then we're also going to offer the class, because a lot of people cannot do Wednesdays. So we're going to record it and people can sign up, and then they can take the recording and watch it in the time frame they have, and then show up to the practicum if they need more support.
Okay.
So that is what we're offering as well. The class is full at this point, like the core group, but the offering of the recording is available. So if people still, there's plenty of space in that way of offering the
And
class.
then the people that are watching, they choose to choose the recording can go to the practicum.
Yes.
Yes. The practicums are unlimited in the people that come. They're limited in time, so depending on how many people show up, not everybody, we're not imagining that everybody's going to be able to share their noticings between the class or watching the video and the practicum. But what we found in the 2 cycles of Big Five that we did before this, given the space that we hold, is that people sharing their noticings and making mutual inquiry, whether they spoke or not, was so deeply rich, because each person is a unique snowflake. So they'll take a learning lens and apply it in a way that's unique to them. And then whoever shares, it broadens and deepens the eureka, like the aha field. Because we would have people in the previous trainings who would be listening, and you could see the light bulb going on. Oh, you could apply it that way. And then you could feel like the dots connect. And of course, it deepened and enriched both of our aliveness in application, because both of us are deep students of life and continually unpacking and growing this.
So I've worked with you for a long time, and I have different words that describe our path, but I have people on the show right now saying trained in what exactly. There are people that don't recognize what I get how you're communicating, but if you can break it down a little bit and let people know who you are, because I know there are 2 women here, Carla and April and Cordelia. Does the name Cordelia Jess? Okay, that's Cordelia DeVere. So Cordelia was like, you were my body, my mind and soul, and Cordelia took care of my body and soul for many years. Body worker to the solar system, whatever. and is an incredible artist and lives in England. But my friend Carla, who's a jeweler, and my friend April, who just has this heart, but hasn't had this language. I'd like for you to explain a little bit, if you could.
Yeah. Do you want me to start that one? So there is a modality. It's called body dynamics. It's out of Denmark, and it's a form of somatic psychotherapy. And somatic means from the body. So it is a way of working psychologically, but not always through speaking. It's through like musculature, bones, awareness of your energy. So this is a system both Coquelicot and I are trained in. And we will be bringing that modality into the boundaries class because it's working on developmental theory. So it's bringing the body into how we develop through our childhood. And depending on how our parenting or not parenting was, it will form our personality structures and our body. So there's ways you can work on things that might be really stuck in like a talk mental way through physical anchors and movements. And so, and body work and touch, things like that, that Coquelicot and I will be bringing in as tools. It's a really good modality for people who are kinesthetic learners, who are tactile, who aren't all, like visual mental learners. And it's great for that style too. But that's what I found, that it's really met me in more of the way I learn the body dynamic system. So that is the main modality we're like going to be drawing from. But like my background is in definitely child development. I'm a midwife. I have studied the bonding process, attachment, how attachment forms at the very beginning in the prenatal part of our development from conception to when the birth happens, how that bonding or lack of bonding really impacts us. Coquelicot and I have done a class together with innate traditions where we talk about C-sections and the impact that has on mothers and babies and bonding and parents, and using the body dynamic system really to bring that as a lens on different ways we form, the ways trauma can get caught in a developmental delay or maybe lack of meeting or being seen. Like I said in the beginning, how Coquelicot saw me for the first time, my developmental trauma is a lot in not being seen. So getting seen actually opened up a whole world for me. And that's my hope for this class actually, is that we get to really dive into what it means to see ourselves, locate ourselves, see ourselves, and honor where we're at. So
Thank you.
I'm going to pass it to you.
Talking sticks are wonderful.
Yeah.
That's another thing that we have come out of. Part of the venue that we met through did a lot of circling process and had talking sticks, and we did. And we've also both spent a fair bit of time in Indigenous fields. So there's a process.
You are right now.
Right.
Well, thank you for that, because William brought up, he put the link for bodydynamics.net. Coquelicot, do you have a website where people?
Bodydynamics.net is one of my two websites. That's not Body Dynamics. I know it's confusing, but I chose the
There's
name
bodies dash
Dynamics. Yes,
That you?
that's one of my two. That's the more heady, like I'm an artisan scholar, so that's the more scholarly side. And then coquelicotgilland.com is more my heart. And then Amanda, what's your website?
Well, at this point, it's still up and kind of in development, but it's Ocotillo Rose Wellness.
Want to spell that for me?
OCOTILLO TILLO Rose, ROSE
Okay.
wellness.com. I think it's .com.
And so for William, there are two Bodynamic URLs. One is Bodynamic USA, and I don't remember, I think that's maybe even .org, but I don't remember. And then there is Bodynamic International, and I would have to look up their URL because I don't know, but there's like two different offerings happening, one that's specifically United States, mostly for people on training tracks like MFTs, MSWs, some forms of body work, and international is open more to, in a certain way, lay people who are wanting to heal and grow. One thing I would add, big yes to everything that Amanda said, but one thing that I would add / deepen is that one of Bodynamics International's big gives to the body psychotherapy community is that they did a lot of tracking around volitional muscle control and development and psychological development, which is what makes these body anchors so profound. So if you are a little child who's playing in your high chair with toys on the tray, and you're at an age where you're learning to pick things up and then let them go, and then you watch them go over the side of the high chair and you laugh and laugh and laugh, and you look at your adult companion, and hopefully in the good scenario you're laughing together, and then you look down and you stick your hand out and you want them to lean over and pick it up and put it back in your hand. That's boundaries. That's playing with boundaries. That's interpersonal regulation, which is a boundary regulation. And it's also you learning both emotionally and psychologically, as well as physically, to let go and then to receive. And if you don't have a family situation that supports you there, then you can end up making a lot of different compensations for that. One might be you don't even pick things up anymore, which will translate in your ability to pick things up in your life. If you go into a collapse, you're going to kind of give up around that. I know that for me, I learned that it wasn't safe to let go of anything. I grew up really rough. Bodynamics allows me to be who I am much more fully expressed today. But I used to walk around with my hands and fists and sleep like all curled up like this. And through my work in Bodynamics, my hands learned to relax because I started to be able to trust that if I let go, I could do this and something would come.
Mhm.
So that's kind of a concrete example. Now that's getting so worked out that I'm letting go of stuff all the time, and stuff is like coming all the time. And I've moved from like crumb subsistence, is what I call what it was like for me growing up, like just living on crumbs, to a lot of abundance moving through my life.
Beautiful.
But almost everybody, almost every muscle in the body has a psychological life theme connected to it and a developmental thematic learning. So that's the piece I would add to the Bodynamics part. And then the thing I would say about both Amanda and I, we're trained in a bazillion things outside of that, but Bodynamics makes an incredible umbrella to use every experience we've ever had in our lives to be present and to deeply listen to the more subtle movements of things, or the not so subtle movements of things.
I get it. I'm
Did that answer the
it
question?
answered it for me, and I think it explained and opened it up for people for conversation that would be interested possibly in I mean, I wanted to come on and meet Amanda anyway. Now I feel like we've known each other a lot longer than an hour almost. But other people that are here and other people that will be here, because the great thing about this show is that it stays on my page. It goes on other pages that are shared with other people, and it's on YouTube, so it's there forever. And people can reach back to it and reach out to both of you, one of you. I think it would be a really, for me, listening to me for myself, I know I can get a lot out of it, and it would add to what I already do with my people. But also, some of the people that are on this show are in relationship, are in couples. And what a powerful modality this would be for a couple.
Oh, just the first class we're doing so relates to all of that. I want to say one thing really quickly, Amanda, before I give you the talking stick on that. And that is, I want people to know that both of our practices are full with waiting lists. So it's not like we're on because we want to build more clients. But we do really want to invite people to take a step into this material, because COVID has really highlighted so much. I mean, you know, things we used to do, like just see somebody and walk over and hug them and hold them. You know, our bodies are doing this, like we're in an assessment process going in the other direction.
That's why we're here every day.
Mhm.
This is the community and connection of 1111. And oh yeah, for sure, Dave. It's and to bring you into it, to you know, to support what you're doing. And I know you're both completely full, because I'm a part of your world. But I wanted to bring you on today to show people, to share another part of how I move on the planet. And this is one of my main ways, is with you.
Well, we're really happy to have you joining us too.
Yeah. April just said, I already Googled her name. Wow. I know. Wow. And that's just a part of it. There's so many different aspects of how you move on this planet. And I just wanted to be here today with you and share it with these people and share it with whoever is going to see it again, over and over and over again.
Over and over.
But I'm excited to be in the same room with 3 of you one day, 2 of you, and probably whoever else is here. I mean, because they are here. You know that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, ladies? Because I could, this show has gone as long, just so you know.
Oh, is it over time?
No, it's not over. It's gone as long as 15 hours. So just,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think what I want to say about the way the class will be flowing is that we will really start foundationally, like the very beginnings of development and boundaries and the ideal and the not so ideal and the tools to get to a point where each person will understand how they are formed and how they would like to maybe change that or not, you know. Just more of it's about acceptance. I think for me, my practice is so much about welcoming all parts of myself. And in the teaching process, I know Coquelicot and I both are really committed to welcoming all parts of ourselves. And just in doing that, you model something, actually. When you do that, you model it for each other. It's like the collective nervous system gets a piece of that medicine when we do that for ourselves. So we will be starting very like foundational, very baby, and we'll move into things that are more complex throughout the year. And we will start talking about social boundaries as well, like the roles we play. And I think that's awesome for couples, is to like really understand the whole, it's great for individuals, but couples too, like they really can see each other in a different way if they might be gripped in a conflict that is in development, in their own development, to uncouple that and to see each other and see how they can support each other in different ways. So absolutely, when I'm thinking of relationships, I'm like, yes, this is the class for sure. This is the class I would take for my relationship. And I have actually in other ways than take. Yeah. So I think
And a lot of the, well, last night my friend Tatiana was on. I'm also, my degree is in early childhood education, and I was a Montessori teacher for many years. And one of my students was on the show last night, not as a guest, but in the stream. And she was 3 when I was working with her, and she now has 4 children.
Mm.
And I thought, for a second, I went, oh, this would be a really great class also for my friends who are grandparents or new grandparents. And then I thought, wait a minute, we have Tatiana who just had her 4th child about 2 months ago. So yeah, so much to learn and so many ways to learn and to share it and just to get that one, like you were explaining with being in the high chair, learning about letting go and learning how to do that play. And
One of the reasons we talk about the class as being boundaries and spirituality is that there's also a lot of confusion about that. In boundaries and separation is like a 3D part of being here on the planet. It's a horizontal, relational kind of thing. When you start working your spiritual work, so it applies there as well, that's more of a vertical thing. And like, how do you mediate vertical integrity and vertical autonomy and also be connected to the collective and understand the impact of your actions? It's like, since we started this, I've been in a huge kind of gestalt, aha, oh my God, everything is coming down to boundaries. You can't do human relationship well without having some kind of native understanding because you got good parenting, or you have to learn some things because part of a conversation on boundary, I have specialized a lot in sexual abuse along the way and working with people there. And I know Amanda's done a lot as well. When you're in relationship with anybody, your child, your parents, your mate, whatever experiences you've had there shape your response patterns. And the more you can understand, track, and regulate, the more intimacy you can manage with people. And body dynamics, big piece. And it's what I'm so touched by in my arc with Amanda, is having such lovely, sweet, deep, and with you, mutual connection and intimacy. You know, that's from our mammal parts of us. We have a social need for connection, even if we're on the more introverted spectrum, like I'm an emotional introvert. I haven't suffered so much during the pandemic because I'm wherever I am with all of that. But I miss hugging people. I would like to have more choices. I don't get acupuncture. I don't get osteopathy. I don't get touched much anymore. So my self-care has had to develop along the lines of self-support, right? So, you know, how do we manage all of that in these times, even though I feel like we're starting to now kind of come out the other side?
but that's the other part of it too, is how do we haven't done that for 2 years. Wait a second, do I
So there's a reintegration process. There's still a lot of unknowns out there, but all of that is negotiating. and deep listening. This work will bring you deeper into your gut, into your sensory body, into your animal body. And we have many intelligences, and our gut needs to be fully on board if we're going to make well-informed ones. And most of us get pushed into a higher cognitive, mental, maybe fast-paced because of trauma, and we leave important bits behind, or we're moving too fast to hear the small voices that carry important information. So the mindfulness and noticing, this whole class is premised on getting slowed down.
Mhm.
Amanda brought me this wonderful quote from a book I'm trying to remember, Emergent, Moving at the Pace of Trust,
Mm. Yes.
which I just fell in love with. And then a friend of mine told me the
Mhm.
book that it came from. And then we added on Moving at the Pace of Trust and Presence.
Mhm.
Imagine that's a boundary, that's a container. You know, there's this, that's the boundary, this is the container. That's how it is in the body in part.
Yeah. And I love that the container, boundary container, the boundary helps to contain your own spirit, your
Oh.
soul. So it contains you to fill out and fill in and fully express
Yeah,
yourself.
if you don't have, one of the ways that I talk about it is if that you don't have a boundary and you're missing your container, then it's like making chicken soup without a pot and zero gravity, you know? It's like you have carrots floating this way and blobs of water going that way, and herb, like you can't actually marry it. So this 10 months of 2 hours once a month with a practicum is just a taste. Any one of these learning lenses, Amanda and I could teach a 2 or 3 day, 8-hour workshop on, and I have, and she has, you know. So part of our bigger picture that we're growing organically into is really building out a body of offerings in a nowhere to go, nothing to do kind of way, just following like impulse and flow, and not trying to be anybody or try to get somewhere with like a directional push. So this is our next step, and out of this will come an online offering. The big 5 we're going to be working on in the next few months to have an online offering. It's an incredible regulation tool. And we don't know how far this will go, but we're going to follow it. And we'll be teaching together for a long time.
Yeah.
I could go
That
here.
is so fun.
I didn't mean to go there. I meant to go here. This is the real love. They just go on and on and on. I know. They're amazing. There's always that guy at the end. Oh. I invite you both to go onto this page after, at your convenience, and meet who's here and read what people are saying. And I think it's, again, it's about connection, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
I love it.
Amanda, are you on Facebook?
I am not, but I will, you know, I might just have to get on with
Are you
this.
on Instagram or any other
I'm
social?
not on any social media. It just is one more thing for me that I'm like, ah.
Amanda has an 11-year-old. Yeah. We love 11-year-olds on 11/11. Or soon to be 11.
He'll be 11 in April, so maybe he will come on your show.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Okay, Amanda, I'm going to honor your boundary around social media.
Well,
And
something
what
like
I
this.
will do is I will take some screenshots of things that are said and I will send them to you.
Okay.
And then if you have a strong response to anything, you can let me know and I will be in between.
Love that. Thank you, Coquelicot. And this would be like the only reason I would get on social media is because of you doing something like this is amazing. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'm so glad this is being offered on social media. What an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So it does make me move closer to joining.
This is its own 1111 with Jenna. Is a
Just this.
container
Yeah.
for so many different people and so many walks of life that I know that like right now there are 7 people watching.
Mhm.
And then I think, oh, I wish there were 700 people watching. And part of the way that it goes is people share the show. But then like a month from now, someone will go, I was watching your show with that woman with the beautiful hair and that other woman, and they looked like sisters and they were talking about stuff that I didn't quite get, but wow. And I go, oh yeah, I didn't even know you were there. They like, no, I just watched it today.
Yeah.
So it's continuous and
Yeah.
it's always holding space
Mm.
for anyone that scrolls by. I love it. And I'm grateful that you both took the time. I know that Coquelicot has minutes in her life to do these things. After driving, did you drive to Sacramento last night or San Francisco?
Sacramento.
Mm.
So the precious package was delivered to the airport and is on its way to parts in Asia.
Mm. Mm.
So that happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And do you have anything that you can share with us in front of you that we would love to? Nothing? Okay.
No, the only thing that I would really invite people to do, if you're okay with it, is I have a show coming up at the end of the month
Of course.
over in Old World New Ways.
You can come onto the show and post any links that you want.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
I appreciate that. I do mineral medicine, so I'm having a radical show, which I do once a month at the end of the month for 48 hours. It's an online playground and sales venue. And my focus this month is gobies galore. So that's going to be the predominant.
These in case anyone.
And a lot of metaphysical information, and I help people get paired with materials. It's another version of supporting people with things like boundaries, centering, grounding, nervous system regulation. Just another playground for me.
Thank you. Well,
So
thank you
thank you.
both so
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Jenna.
Thanks,
You're
Jenna.
welcome.
Aw.
Just
You have any last parting words, Amanda?
Just thank you. Very grateful to you, Jenna, you, Coquelicot, and everybody on the show, watching the show.
if you two would like to give me a letter, each of you give me a letter, and then we'll all say goodbye together.
Oh,
Oh,
A.
A, A, O, A, O. Here we are on 11/11. A, O. Amanda, oh my goodness, she's so beautiful. And what a heart. I know what a start of a relationship with you. Love to say, go click, oh, my beautiful poppy. Oh, my, she's just blessed all of the way. And I'm here to say thank you both for being here today. Hey, hey, I'm here to say, and we dance like this, and we let it go, and it flows, and it comes to us from your heart, and it shows. Thank you both for being here today. I wish you all in every way to stay safe, stay healthy, and always be real nice. And everybody out there, please come back here once or twice, because that is the way that we show all of the love and community here today and every day before and every day from now on to A-O, A-O, A from your thoughts, authentic thoughts. Oh my goodness, what words are with a O that I'm starting to show. Optimistic thoughts always, and from your words always, altruistic and always, never opposite, but opposite can work to and from your heart. Hey yo, from your heart. Have an Amanda kind of heart, 'cause I feel that from the start. And from your Coquelicot, I love her that you start with O. So start with O today, and let's all go and play. And always, always, I thank you both. I'm amazed. I will just say, hey, love heart.
Oh,
Thank you both so very
wow.
much for being here.
Mm.
Big hugs.
Mm.
See why I wanted you guys all to be here today? Tell your friends, share the show.
Mm.
I love. Take
Mm.
good care. I'll see both of you very soon.
Very
Yeah.
soon.
Okay.
Love heart, everybody.
Thank you guys
Bye.
for all coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Come play with us.